Welcome to Red Recaps. Today's recap will be of the 2008 adventure action film 10,000 BC. Relax and enjoy as we watch this fascinating film. What are we waiting for? Let's get the ball rolling. At the beginning of the movie, we see people who used to reside in the icy highlands and hunt mammoths. These mammoths made a very unusual appearance in these mountains. And since they don't always arrive, the locals had to brace themselves for the possibility of famine. All of the members of the tribe are concerned because there is an elderly woman who the members of the tribe refer to as the Old Mother. And that Old Mother could communicate with ghosts. They meet a girl whose name is Evelyn. There is a young man in the tribe by the name of Daly who has just developed an interest in Evelyn. When they went out hunting, Daly's father always carried a white spear with him because he was the first one to shoot an animal. Daly's father has plans to embark on a journey one night. He tells his friend, "Unfortunately, I will have to leave. Give me your word that you won't tell anyone else anything about this, and I'll consider it settled." He then continues on his quest after handing the white spear over to his friend. After his father's departure, everyone started making fun of Daly. They were under the impression that his father had run away because he was scared, but the reality was quite the reverse, which was beyond the comprehension of everyone other than his friend. Evelyn and Daly are lonely because they require the support of someone. They became close friends. They had started to develop feelings for one another. Due to the passage of time, a significant number of years had passed by, and both Evelyn and Daly had grown up. Once more, mammoths arrive in their region. It has been determined that Evelyn will wed the one who finishes their hunts first, and he will also receive the white spear as a reward for his efforts. In addition to this, he will be selected to serve as the chief of the tribe. Every member of the tribe leaves to hunt mammoths. They were able to catch a mammoth in a rope net, but even though the mammoth ran away from the rope, it was still caught in the net. All of the tribesmen hold the net of rope. Everyone has to release the rope net because the mammoth is moving quickly. Only Daly still had a hold on the rope net. A mammoth drags Daly to the top of the mountain and attacks him while he is being pulled there. Daly throws a spear at it, but it doesn't get hurt, and it attacks Daly again. Then Daly attacks it with one more spear, and this time the mammoth dies. In the meantime, all of the tribesmen are also getting closer. They are shocked that Daly killed this huge mammoth. Everyone gets excited. Daly is given the white spear, and he is given Evelyn. The agreement says that both of them will get married, but Daly is upset because he lost his grip on the rope net, but the tribesmen thought he hadn't. His hand got caught in it by accident, so he gave it back. He gave back the white spear, which means that he has given up Evelyn, since Mammoth Hunter was the rightful owner of Evelyn. Daly has made Evelyn angry. Because of this, they can't be together. They were in love with each other, but they were also tied to the traditions of their tribe. That night, some horse riders attacked their tribe and took both men and women prisoner. Evelyn was also taken prisoner, but Daly and some of his friends were able to escape. Daly decided to bring back all the tribesmen and captives he had taken. He plans to go after them and then follows the tracks of horses and tribespeople with some of his other friends. They spend all day and night traveling. They get to the other side of the mountain, where the road starts, and Daly and his friends reach a forest. As they move forward, they meet all of the tribespeople and Evelyn, who are being held captive. At night, Daly lets some of his tribesmen go to Evelyn at night, but the people who were holding them captive chased them to take them back. They also hurt one of Daly's friends, and then they went ahead and took Daly's tribe. Daly is moving while pulling his injured friend behind him. They were hungry and moving away from each other. So he goes hunting, but ends up in a pit where many animals have already been caught. There is also a huge, fierce, toothed tiger that is caught there. The toothed tiger was the one who could talk. When it starts to rain, the toothed tiger starts to drown, but Daly decides to free it before it dies. Daly says to the toothed tiger, "I'll let you go if you promise not to hurt me." Daly let that tiger with teeth go, and it left without hurting him. Daly also gets out of the pit and moves toward his friend who is hurt. He tells Daly that he heard screams last night, so they both went to where they came from. They find out that someone broke into the village. When they got to the village, the people of the tribe surrounded them. They were about to be killed when that toothed tiger that Daly saved shows up. Everyone in his tribe is afraid of him. After seeing a toothed tiger, Daly moves toward it and tells it, "I am your rescuer, and you must remember me." The toothed tiger then takes a side, but doesn't hurt Daly. When those tribesmen saw it, they were shocked. They took Daly and his friends in and made them feel welcome. They also fed them. When they said they were from the mountain, a man told them he knew, and that a man had been there a long time ago to look for shelter. And that's where they had learned to speak the Daly language. Here it becomes clear that the man was, in fact, Daly's father. When Daly asks about the man, they tell him that demons have taken him. They told him it was a place from which no one had ever come back alive, but they were counting on Daly to take them there. Daly asked the man why, and the man told him that a prophecy said a man would come to them and talk to the toothed tiger. That man, the prophecy said, would save their people. These tribesmen told other tribes nearby that a man who could talk to toothed tigers had arrived. A friend of Daly's told him a secret about his father. He tells him that his father didn't run away because he was afraid of anyone, but because he needed to find a place for his tribe to live, so they wouldn't starve. Daly asks him why he didn't tell him earlier, and he says that his father told him not to tell anyone about this secret before he was ready. Then, those tribesmen followed Daly to the mountains. They got close to the river and tried to sail in the boats, but Daly and his friends couldn't because they didn't have any boats. So they decided to walk the rest of the way. But it was hard to go on foot because they had to start their journey in a large desert that no one had ever been able to cross before. Finally, they crossed the desert to the other side. They see that big pyramids are being built there. The people were made slaves so that they could work there and help build the pyramids. There are a lot of natives there, but the number of their slaves is higher. Their leader is called a god. They say that they flew here from the sky, but their god never shows them his face. Instead, he always wears a mask. Their leader only gives orders to those under him. Daly and one of the other tribesmen went to the slaves' camp. A man who couldn't be seen was brought in front of them. The man tells Daly that out of the three gods, only one is still alive. Daly asks how it will all end, and he says, God is afraid of such a man, who will have a specific mark on his body, and that mark looks like the visible marks on the sky. According to the prophecy, that man will save all tribesmen and all slaves. When asked if he had that mark on his body, Daly doesn't answer. Daly also finds out here that his father is dead and was killed by the people who brought his tribesmen here as slaves. Daly and his friend went back to their men, but they were now in charge of other people. The fight has begun between them. During the fight, Daly's friend was pierced. He gives up his father's white spear to delay his death. He wants to save everyone and set them all free at the same time. Some people notice that Evelyn's hand has scars, which are the same as the marks that can be seen in the sky. All people are scared. They take Evelyn to their god because someone with those scars will let the people who are saving them in. The next morning, a hunter comes after her, and the natives tell their god. Daly and his friends dress up as laborers so they can get to their people. Daly tells his men that war is coming. Some mammoths start to run back and forth, which makes a big mess. Their god tells them to kill Evelyn when they take her outside. Evelyn is brought out, but when Daly and his men see Evelyn, they stop fighting. Then, when their god comes, everyone hides. One of the god's men says that no one will be able to stop anyone from taking the girl away for good this time. Daly says that he will not only take Evelyn with him, but all of his people as well. Their god tells them that they are our servants and men. Sadell no longer wants to do it after that. He throws the white spear at God, and it goes right through God. Daly tells everyone to look at God, who is a person like them. Both tribes fight, and Daly's side wins the war. However, one of the men who captured Evelyn shoots her with an arrow, killing her. Daly gets revenge by killing the man who shot an arrow at Evelyn. Daly had come here to save his tribe and everyone else, but he lost his closest family members. During this time, the old mother, who is giving them her powers, watches from afar and sacrifices herself to bring Evelyn back to life. Evelyn comes back to life, and the people of another tribe who sheltered them give Daly seeds. They tell him that his father wanted him to take the seeds to where they were planted and grow them. Daly decides to do something about it by going to his place. He plants these seeds and plants start to grow. They won't have to deal with hunger again, and they won't die of hunger either. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think about the movie. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more of our videos. If you liked this movie, you can watch it in the links down below. Thank you for watching Red Recaps. See you in the next video.